Well, hi there. It's me. I'm back. Your old Auntie Cora with a new book to read for Christmas for Tobey, my kitty. Now, last time where we left off, I read Here Comes Santa Cat. It was Here Comes Santa Cat, not the Christmas cat. Today, I'm reading The Christmas Cat, written by Hefner Tudor Holmes. Hefner Tudor Holmes, and illustrated by Tasha Tudor. Now, I got this book from the public library years ago. It was withdrawn, see? And I paid like, $1, so I did not scoff it. So today, boys and girls, I'm going to read to you the story of the Christmas cat. And it has lovely illustrations. Very famous book. Very rare book, too. So I will begin. Copyrighted in 1976. Ooh, I was 15. So, first of all, we have some pretty deer. And it starts off, it was the day before Christmas. It had stopped snowing, but a cold wind blew through the forest, bending the trees down and piling up great gusting drift around them. I'll set it up here so Tobey can read it. I'll read it to Tobey. Birds sat. There we go. Birds sat huddled in the treetops, their little claws that clutched the branches numb with cold. Below them, deer stood clustered together, nibbling at the bark. Perhaps they thought of sunlit wood and covered leaf-covered bushes, but the forest lay dark and cold. And here's the pussycat that we're talking about in this book. Right, Tobey? You look so excited, Tobey. I don't know if I can get both of us in there. Okay, so here we go. A gray cat was struggling to walk through the deep snow. He meowed petitiously. Yeah. Occasionally he would stop and hold up a paw caked with icy snow. For the cat, the wintry forest was not with cold, but also dangerous and unfriendly. Owls and foxes were everywhere, ready to pounce on him. So far he had always managed to hide in time. Once he had a home, a warm home with soft chairs to sleep on and fresh bowls of milk for him to drink. But one day he come home only to find the place deserted. The door never opened for him again. Poor kitty. Finally, after waiting in vain for several weeks, the cat left, sad and confused. He would have to seek another home. In his travel, he came upon many houses, but in each there had been a dog to chase him or another cat defending his territory. Now in the forest, the cat could not walk another step. He crept under a log and fell into an exhausted sleep. And here's some more pictures. Right, Tobey? At the edge of the forest was a small farm. It was a well-kept place, and the little house looked festive, with a wreath on the door and candles in the window. Inside, Nate and Jason sat in the warm kitchen, decorating gingerbread animal cookies for the Christmas tree. They felt uneasy listening to the wind moan down the chimney and through the cracks. Will Santa be able to come in winter like this, Nate? Jason asked. He lives at the North Pole, so I'm sure he's used to this kind of weather, his older brother replied, smiling. And don't eat all the icing. We have 3 more animals to do. Their mother came into the kitchen. Finish up, boys. It's getting late. And you have to light the creche tonight. That's C-R-E-C-H-E. If anybody knows what that word is, please provide an answer in the comments below. Right, Toby? The creche was a most special part of Christmas. It was already set up in the old brick oven inside the big fireplace. Nate's old gray plush donkey and Jason's little toy goat stood in the hay, looking at Mary and her baby. Miniature baskets of fruit stood nearby, and carved the window doves hovered in the corners. After their father read The Night Before Christmas aloud, Nate and Jason each lit a candle and placed it carefully in front of the creche. Okay? Then the whole family stood for a few moments looking at the scene, silent with their own thoughts. A gust of wind threw snow against the window, and the candles flickered. Right, Toby? I'm glad our animals are in our nice warm barn, said Nate. I think how cold the wild animals must be. I wish I could put them in too. Winter can be hard on them, his father said, but most of them are used to it. In the woods, zoom in on that, if you can see that. Oh, sorry, baby. In the wood, the gray cat woke uneasily. The bitter wind had stopped, leaving the forest heavy with silence. The cat crawled out from under the log and looked around cautiously. Through the treetops, and the sky was brilliant with stars, somehow the forest no longer seemed forbidding. The cat, aware of an unfamiliar fleeing apace, he heard a sound in the far distance. An elusive music enveloping him beckoned deeper into the woods, and he followed. As he went, other animals came too, emerging from their den and nests and burrows and joining them until the forest was filled with creatures of every kind. They moved silently together through the trees until they came to a clearing bright with moonlight. The music became louder. It was the sound of bells, like in Jingle Bells. Right, Toby? Now, there's an interesting part of the story where Cat meets up with a new friend. Into the clearing came 2 great horses. Pardon me. Oh, where are you going, Toby? Toby. Oh, well, that's it for Toby. I think Toby's had enough. Well, I'll finish from here. Into the clearing came 2 great horses, pulling a slow sled with wooden runners. Upon it stood a tall man with long hair and a beard. A small owl sat serenely on his shoulder, and other birds flew round him. At his feet were baskets full of berries and nuts. And that's a very lovely picture. And look at little raccoon and fox. He smiled while he saw the animals gathered there. Drawing his horses to a stop, he stepped down from the sled and moved among the forest creatures, patting them and talking to them. Now and then he would cluck sympathetically at a lame leg or a paw that had been mangled by a trap. As he went, he scattered seeds on the ground. Squirrels clambered up to his shoulders, onto his shoulders. Sorry about that. For a handful of nuts. From the trees, he hung pieces of suet for the birds, and he carried loafy branches for the deer. There's Kitty. And Toby is back. Oh, hi, Toby. Where we left off, As he came to the cat, he stopped in surprise. Well, well, little fellow, how did you come to be here? You belong in a warm home with soft chairs to sleep on and a saucer of milk to drink. He pulled his beard thoughtfully. I know of a small farm not far from here. He said 2 little boys lived there, and there isn't a finer place for an animal to live. He picked up the shivering cat and returned to the bobsled. He stood for a moment smiling at the forest animal. Then the great horses started up, and once again the music of their harness bells filled the forest. The horses traveled swiftly, but the cat was no longer cold. He lay curled in a blanket at the tall man's feet, lured by the music of the bell. It was Christmas morning. Yay! Their parents were still asleep when Nate and Jason raced downstairs to the big fireplace to find their stockings. Jason, Jason, look what's here, called Nate softly. It's a little cat. And indeed, to the boys' amazement, there was a gray cat curled up in a chair close to the fire. But Nate, where could he have come from? Cried Jason, completely forgetting to be quiet. I'm not sure, said his brother, looking thoughtfully, but some unexpected and wonderful thing can happen when it's Christmas. And there's the cat all cuddled up, nice and cozy. The gray cat began to purr. He looked at the creech, C-R-E-C-H-E. And for a fleeting moment, he seemed to hear again the sound of distant bells. And there he is with his new little buddies. The end. Oh, and how to make Nate and Jason's gingerbread animal cookies for the Christmas tree, and how to make white frosting for cookies. I will have to try that. The end. And that, boys and girls, is the story of the Christmas cat. Did you enjoy it? I know I did. Did you enjoy that, Tobey? Hey, Tobey? Can you see? Hey, did you enjoy that, Tobey? So anyway, Tobey, can you see? So anyway, I'm going to sign off now because I've had my dinner and I want to rest my belly. And Tobey had plenty to eat. And Tobey, it's Christmas tomorrow. Santa Claus has lots of gifts for you. Yes, Santa Paws is coming. You're getting lots of stuff, boy. Good boy. Well, thank you for tuning in. Have a Merry Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy. Eat, drink, and be like Mary. Bye. Happy New Year, too.